Lions fans, I've been trying to warn you guys and tell you guys that Jameson Williams is due for a breakout year. I've been talking about it for over a year. I've been telling you it's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And I might be a little overly excited given that it's only really officially day one of training camp. But all the things that I've been seeing on Twitter, some of the clips that I've been seeing, some stuff that some beat writers and whatnot have been putting up on their Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, about Jameson Williams, some of the reports I'm seeing, it's hard to contain my excitement. I literally have one day off of work this week. It's today, and I've been spending it with my thumb scrolling through Twitter. I know, be careful with what I set myself up there, but that's just how I wanted to spend my day, man. I knew we were going to get some news today. Dan Campbell pretty much coming out and just doing Dan Campbell shit, just doing his up downs. You know, football's back. Football has never been more back in the city of Detroit. I cannot wait for the season to start. We're just a couple weeks away from our first preseason game. Like this is the time. If you're not amped up for Detroit Lions football, you're obviously on the wrong channel. But Dan Campbell getting started off right, doing his up downs like he always does, man. I'm excited. Got me ready to run through a wall for this guy. I'm ready for the season to get going. I kind of hit it. I'm going to be talking JMO today. I'm going to be talking JMO, and there's some other guys that I think it was the Detroit Lions podcast guys that were tweeting out some stuff. So I want to give a shout out to them. I'm using most of my information from Twitter. So I'm trying to, there's a lot of different names. I can't mention everyone that I read something about on Twitter, but I like everything I'm seeing. Today was just kind of acclimation day for the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell said that the pads will go on Monday, but this is just kind of like, I don't know if you'd call it like like an acclimation, like I don't want to call it like a conditioning or anything. Like they're practicing, they're running plays and stuff, but just the word acclimation, I guess, fits right. But Jameson Williams, man, had today. Aiden Hutchinson, Hendon Hooker, another guy I told you guys to keep an eye on in training camp. He's a very important piece. Hendon Hooker depends, or a lot of people's jobs depend on how Hendon Hooker plays this preseason. Wide receivers fighting for the team, running backs fighting for their positions, whether it's running back 3, 4, what's going to happen there, offensive linemen. We need that good quarterback play from Hendon Hooker that we haven't had in preseason games. Lock down your spot as QB2. I think that's where he ultimately ends up. And I just want to see good quarterback play. I don't want to see stuff like I saw last year from Adrian Martinez and Nate Sudfeld. I want to see a heavy dose of Hendon Hooker, but I'm focusing on JMO today, man. This is going to be a lot of JMO talk here, and I don't know how long this episode's going to go, but Jameson Williams had a touchdown today, puked mid-stride on a touchdown, took a knee, wiped the puke away, got back to work. Is that just not a football play? Is that, hey, I'm going to catch this ball, I'm going to go for a touchdown, I'm going to yak, I'm going to get back in the huddle, and I'm going to go do it again. Shout out to you, JMO, man. I love you, man. We've been defending Jameson Williams on this show for pretty much since we've been doing this podcast a little over a year. We started this channel a little over a year ago, and I feel like at least once a month we're defending Jameson Williams. So I need to see a breakout year, and I feel like this is going to be it. I've been talking about it all season. Puking mid-stride, touchdown, wipe it away, go out and do it again, man. I absolutely love it. Not the puke part. I'm not a huge, fan of that, but whatever. Hey, got in the end zone. It's what we need to see. I've been talking lately the last couple weeks. I did an episode a little while ago about the rumors that I was seeing about the Detroit Lions needing to trade for Brandon Ayuk, and I said we don't need to. We got Jameson Williams, man. It is not going to be fair for the NFL if Jameson Williams has a monster year this season. It's just not going to be fair. Our offense was already absolutely loaded. We were a top 5 offense last year, and we didn't get a lot of production from Jameson Williams. We also didn't get him very involved. He only averaged like 2 touches, I should say, per over 12 games. So about 2 catches or touches, handoffs. I just really feel like it's not going to be fair if the Detroit Lions get Jameson Williams heavily involved. If you get him 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 would be the max touches in a game for Jameson Williams, like this offense will be absolutely unstoppable. I also saw some clips and some highlights today of Jahmyr Gibbs, who looks absolutely phenomenal. He looks more explosive. I think the game's going to slow down a little bit more for Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's going to make him an absolute nuclear weapon. So these two guys, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 kids, you get them the football, home run can happen at any moment. That's what our offense needs. Last year, I felt like we were kind of built to just kind of just kind of like slowly work our way down the field. We did have some explosive plays, but I feel like we're going to have even more explosive plays this year with just those two guys. Jahmyr Gibbs looked good in some drills that I saw. Again, this is nothing like, game film or anything. It's all just drills. I understand that it's not overly exciting, but if you're a fan like me, you look at the little things like how's he moving his feet? Is he bursting through some of these pads that he's running through? How does he look in pads? Does he look bigger? Does he look leaner? Does he look faster? You got to look at all that different stuff, man. But Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, problem on offense. If these two kids get heavily involved in our passing game and Jahmyr Gibbs is getting the football in the running game as well, and then our defense just being completely revamped. And I know Aiden Hutchinson was on the Detroit Lions podcast list of guys that looked really good today. I expect that from Hutch, so I'm really not going to dive too much into that. That's just kind of what I expect from 97 is just be a monster 24/7. Like wake up in the morning, monster. Drink your coffee, monster. That's just what I expect. So I'm not really going to dive into Hutch today. I'm really focusing on JMO. Man, I'm just ready. I'm just ready for the season to get here. After practice, they were interviewing some of the players, and someone asked a question about Jameson Williams and how he looks to amon-ra St. Brown, and he just said he looks more comfortable. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Those handful of words there. He just looks more comfortable. This is really Jameson Williams's first-ish training camp. I know he had a little bit last year, but I do remember him battling through a hamstring injury that he suffered in training camp, and he missed a little bit of time. I think he even missed a preseason game, if I'm not mistaken. So I want JMO to stay healthy, man. I want this game to slow down for him. I want him to just use his elite speed. Just do everything he keeps doing. He obviously is willing to block. If you don't block, you don't get the rock. So I feel like he's earned the trust of the coaching staff. And again, I know that this is just preseason. It's pretty much like day one of practice, but to hear his name being mentioned on day one of practice, and if you guys have been following this channel for long enough, you understand why I'm so excited. So guys, a little bit of news coming out of Allen Park here, the Meyer training facility or something like that. It's been renamed. Looks absolutely awesome. Don't know if I'll get to get up to a practice this year with my work schedule and the ticket availability, which is through the roof. Like every open practice is sold out, which is awesome. But you guys will enjoy some nice shaded seats that are at Allen Park now, and you won't have to roast out in the sun like a fish in a fishbowl like we had to a couple of times last year. So just a little bit of news coming from training camp, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Stick around, leave some comments, hit that like button. I'll be back later with another show.